everyone, welcome back to another video from GenMedX. Today we're going to be talking about A Level Resits. I'm going to explain to you the benefits and drawbacks of resitting, why you might want to resit, and how the process actually works. I do just want to say that the COVID-19 pandemic has changed things slightly when it comes to resits. In 2021, which is the year that we're filming this, A-level and GCSE exams were cancelled, and so students have been awarded teacher-assessed grades instead. In response to this, exam boards will be running optional exams for all subjects in autumn, with the normal marking system in case students want to improve their grade. As we go through this video, I'll mention how it's working in 2021, but also how it works normally, so if you're watching this in a year where you think that resits will be happening in the same way that they did before the pandemic, you still should find this useful. But really this highlights how important it is to check how things are working in your specific year, so you can be prepared and make the decision that's right for you. Just one last thing before we get into it, this video is brought to you by GenMedX. We are an award-winning organisation based in Oxford, working around the world to support current and future aspiring healthcare professionals. To find out more about what we do, check out our website generationmedics.org.uk. Also please subscribe and turn your notifications on so you never miss an upload. Should I resit any of my exams? Well, unfortunately, I really can't give you a yes or no answer to this one because it depends so much on your situation. Maybe you've opened your results on results day and found that you just missed the grades to get into your first choice uni. If you only just missed the grades to get in, it might be worth getting in touch with your uni to discuss your options, because sometimes they will still accept students even if they miss their entry requirements. If you're just a couple of marks off on one of your subjects, you could discuss the possibility of a remark with your teacher, which may bring you up to the next grade. Don't forget you'll most likely have an insurance choice which probably has lower entry requirements. So if you miss the grades to get into your firm, it's very likely that you still got into your insurance, and if you're still happy to accept your offer for that, then congratulations. If not, you might want to consider clearing. We have a few videos on clearing, so if you want to find out more about what it is and whether it might be an option for you, we'll link them in the description for you to have a watch. But if you didn't get the grades for your firm or insurance, or find a place through clearing, this is where you might want to consider resits. If you're really passionate about getting into a certain course or uni, then resitting your exam might allow you to get the grades that you need to get in. As I mentioned earlier, in 2021 you can resit your exams in October if you're not happy with your teacher-assessed grades. The autumn isn't the only time that you can resit, however, and if you think that you need more time to prepare and revise, then you can choose to resit them in the summer instead. In a normal year, you'd have to wait and sit the exam until next year, regardless of whether or not you think you'd be ready to sit them in autumn. At the moment, you can choose between the grade that you were given by your teacher and the grade that you get if you sit the exam later in the year. You should also know that in the last few years, the resit system has changed from being modular to linear. This means that if you took the exam at the end of year 13, and there was just one module or paper that brought down your grade that you want to rectify with a resit, you'd have to resit all the papers rather than just the one that you weren't happy with. However, you are able to carry across any coursework so you don't have to redo that aspect. When deciding whether or not you should resit one or more of your A-levels, I really recommend talking to teachers who can give you personalised advice and suggest what your options are for your specific scenario. Make sure you understand all the implications of resitting so you can start planning for the weeks and months ahead. What are the benefits of resitting an exam? Of course, an obvious benefit of resitting is that your grade could go up, and that could mean that you've met the entry requirements to get into your dream uni or bag a place on your dream course. Because resitting a subject will mean that you have to take a year out, you might find that leaves you with more time that you can use to carry out work experience that might prepare you for uni and teach you more about the career that you'd like to go into. You could also get a job, meaning you can save up money before starting uni. What are the drawbacks of resitting an exam? You might be worried that taking a year out and starting uni late will make you feel like you've fallen behind your peers. Even though a gap year might be a new concept for you and not one that you'd originally planned for, know that you're by no means alone, and there will be plenty of people like you who have taken a year or more out of school and started uni later. Once you get to uni, you'll find that you really can't tell who took a gap year and who came straight from school. That doesn't mean that resitting is completely without its drawbacks though. For some subjects with really strict entry requirements like medicine, some unis won't accept students who've taken 3 years to get their A-levels. This means that you'll have fewer unis to choose from, and you really have to do your research into the reset policies for each medical school. Some will only permit resits if you're taking your exams for the first time round due to disruption caused by the pandemic. Some will only permit them if you've achieved a certain set of results first time round, and others will only permit them in extenuating circumstances. Some will just say that they don't permit resits altogether, so you really need to check before you apply to ensure that the medical school will consider your application. And then there's the discussion about cost. As well as the cost of sitting the exam, which can be around the £175 mark, if you think you need extra tuition before you resit your exam, you'd also have to pay for this, and it can become really expensive if you're paying for a full year of private tuition. The cost of resits will depend heavily on where you're resitting, and we'll get onto that next. How do I resit an exam? Let's get into the actual process of A Level Resits and talk about where it is that your resit will take place. Many students will do it through their school because it's the most straightforward option. Again, this is something that each school has a slightly different policy on, so if you want to resit one of your A-levels, talk to your school about your options for doing this. It may be that if you resit your A-levels through school, you'll have to go back to school for a year and retake all the classes. Most schools will allow you to do this without having to pay tuition fees, which can make resitting your A-levels through school the cheapest option. However, some students would prefer to resit their exams elsewhere, maybe for a change of scenery, so you could look into going to a college or a different sixth form. But one of the drawbacks with this is that you may well have to pay thousands of pounds to cover the tuition costs. Another option is to resit online. By this, I don't mean taking the exam itself online, instead I mean that you can prepare independently through an online course maybe, before sitting the exam in person at a local exam centre. A benefit of this is that you get added flexibility. If you wanted to work alongside preparing for your resit, then this would probably be the best way to do it because you won't have a timetable as rigid as you probably would have at school. The local exam centre may well be your old school, but you'd still probably have to pay the exam fee in order to sit it. This more flexible style of learning isn't for everyone, however, so speak to your family and teachers who can help you decide what is the best option for you, and the same goes for all the other options that I've gone through here. When will I get my results? If you take your resits in the autumn, at the moment AQA is saying that schools will be getting the autumn exam results on Wednesday the 15th of December 2021, with students getting them the next day on Thursday the 16th. If you take the summer exams, you'll get your results on the normal A-level results day, which tends to be around mid-August each year. But again, check the specific dates for the results day of the year that applies to you. And that's all for today's video. As you can tell, there are quite a few things you'll have to think about when it comes to A-level resits, and there are quite a few options out there. Remember, don't go at it completely alone. Keep your family updated and discuss your options with them, and also discuss it with your school, who will be able to tell you how it will work if you resit through them, and may be able to help you with assessing your options for if you took them elsewhere. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below to let us know what you think and what else you'd like to see from us. Remember, we have lots more support and advice available on our website, generationmedx.org.uk, so do take a look. If you're already a member, jump into conversation on our forum, and if you're not, then why not join? See you again soon.